You use this every day. But what if it's not as harmless as you think? That smell you like is not just a smell. It's something you breathe. Every day, without thinking about it, you spray it on your skin, your clothes, and into the air around you. And then, you keep breathing it for hours. In your home, in your car, at work. So what is actually inside that invisible cloud? And what does it do to your body over time? Have you ever walked into a room and instantly felt overwhelmed by a smell? A perfume, a deodorant, something in the air. And suddenly you feel a slight headache, pressure, or even difficulty focusing? What if that wasn't just in your head? Because today, the air we breathe is often filled with invisible chemical compounds, designed to smell pleasant, last longer, and silently surround everyone in the room.
This is Underframe Project.
And in this video, we're going to look past the surface to understand what modern fragrances really are, and what they might be doing, not just to you, but to everyone around you. Because these products are no longer just perfumes. They are part of a much larger system, present in the air, in our homes, in public spaces, and in ways most people never even notice. From personal fragrances, to air fresheners, to cleaning products and scented sanitizers. Many of these contain synthetic chemicals designed to last longer and smell stronger. In the short term, exposure to these compounds can cause subtle but noticeable effects, like headaches, irritation, or difficulty concentrating. And the important part is, most people don't connect these symptoms to the air around them. These molecules are designed to persist. They don't just disappear. They can stay in the air, on your skin, and on surfaces. Some of them are lipophilic, meaning they bind to fats and can accumulate in the body over time. So even if you shower, they may not be completely removed. And if exposure becomes constant, what is temporary can start to feel continuous. And that's when something harmless starts to become something else. But there's another aspect that's often ignored. When you use these products, you're not the only one being exposed. In a closed space, you are effectively introducing chemical compounds into shared air. And the problem is, these substances are associated with something positive: cleanliness, freshness, hygiene. Most of these compounds are considered safe because they are tested under controlled conditions. Short-term exposure, limited quantities. But real life is different. Exposure is repeated, constant, and often unavoidable. It's similar to measuring the effects of something based on a single exposure, instead of understanding what happens over time. But to really understand what's happening, we need to go deeper. These compounds are not just present. They accumulate in indoor environments, in dust, on surfaces, and over time, even in the body. This is where short-term effects connect to long-term exposure. What may seem like a mild, temporary reaction can become persistent when exposure is continuous. To understand why, we need to look at how these substances interact with the body. Many of these molecules are lipophilic. This means they bind to fats instead of dissolving easily in water. As a result, they can remain on the skin, enter tissues, and persist in the body. This also explains why, even after washing, they may not be completely removed. These substances don't just affect individuals. They remain in the environment, in fabrics, in furniture, and in indoor air over time. So what does this actually mean over time? It means exposure doesn't reset. It builds day after day. And it doesn't come from just one source. It comes from multiple products used every day. If you check the labels, you may find specific synthetic musk ingredients. Names like galaxolide, also called HHCB, and tonalide, also called AHTN. Galaxolide/HHCB is the one ONCES has proposed classifying as a reproductive toxicant under the EU CLP framework, while OSPAR documented that HHCB and AHTN became the dominant synthetic musks in Europe and were found in environmental samples, human milk, and tissue. Historically, some nitro musks were removed or heavily restricted in Europe. The market then shifted toward polycyclic musks like HHCB and AHTN, because they became the long-lasting ingredients the industry relied on. That historical shift is not a guess. OSPAR reported that musk ketone, musk xylene, HHCB, and AHTN represented about 95% of the European market for nitro musks and polycyclic musks, and also noted that several nitro musks were banned or heavily limited in cosmetics while manufacturers withdrew many of them. That shift makes sense from a market point of view. These ingredients were useful because they lasted longer, spread more, and kept products smelling strong for longer. And that changes the scale of the problem. We're no longer dealing with something occasional, but something that becomes part of the environment. So exposure doesn't happen in one moment. It happens across different environments throughout the day. And when exposure becomes continuous, the body doesn't experience it as a single event. It keeps interacting with it. Over time, this can start to affect how the body functions. This includes potential interference with hormonal signaling. And in some cases, traces of these compounds have been detected in breast milk. So the issue is not a single product, or a single exposure. It's the combination and the continuity. And yet, this is not how these products are perceived. They are linked to cleanliness, freshness, and comfort. But perception does not change exposure. And this system is not random. These products are designed to last longer, spread more, and perform better in the market. Because the industry is driven by performance and profit, not by minimizing exposure in shared environments. Legally acceptable does not automatically mean ideal in real life. So the real issue is not whether these products exist. They do. The real issue is what happens when exposure becomes part of everyday life. And that's exactly what we'll address next: how to recognize the sources and reduce exposure in practice. If you've made it this far, you already see the problem. But understanding the problem is not enough. In the next video, we'll break down exactly what you can do in practice to reduce it in real life. Because once you see it, you can't unsee it.